very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. It is the 23rd of July, and it is winter here in New Zealand. Definitely winter today. We had loads and loads of rain overnight, and we've had it on and off, not so heavy, during the day. And it is a chilly 15 degrees at the moment, 1013.5. And we've got about 18 to 20 from the west-southwest. 75% cloud cover, but what is blue is really very watery. The only good thing about it is for those boats on passage, it is a lovely full moon. So wind shift left yesterday. We can't talk to them because their codon does not transmit on our frequency, but hopefully they can hear us and they are out there bouncing around. I would say it's quite strong, and the seas will be up. But I guess they're off, and a few more boats are heading off tomorrow. It will be a very interesting look at the boats that are going tomorrow. Quite big boats. We have we have Tuatara starting from Marsden, and Picasso and Kotanui starting from Opua. In fact, one of the boats from Opua left today. It was Pacific Pearl, a catamaran. So it's plenty of wind out there, folks, a lot of wind. So it's not going to be a very tranquil passage in the Pacific, which is not so Pacific at the moment. So we'll see how they get on tomorrow. We have a couple of boats on the go at the moment, 3 actually, that have been checking in. Reynard 4, family of 4 in fact, on board. They've only got 53 miles to go to Port Resolution. So I hope they are practicing their good British voices, because there seem to be quite a few boats, well, 4 at least, quite big boats, British boats in there to welcome them in tonight between about midnight and 2 in the morning. They've certainly got lots of wind, and I think they're getting a little bit sick of the 20 to 25 knots of southeast wind and rain. They should have been out of the trough by now, but their report from about 3 o'clock shows that they have still got it. They were at 1924 south, 17025 east, and they're going along quite smartly, 6 knots on a course of 262, and 2.5 metre swell from the southeast, and of course the 100% cloud cover, 1016.2 on the bar. So they will probably head in tonight to get out of that mess. It's quite a good approach. We don't normally go into places at night time, but I'd have to say Port Resolution, as long as you don't err a little bit to starboard, if you go straight in and they think they have good waypoints, then it should be okay, and there's certainly boats there to see where to go. So good evening to you, Reynard 4, and Simon and the ladies. So we'll hopefully hear from you tomorrow that you're all checked in, and maybe we'll try out the radio tomorrow with nothing else working on the boat. It would be good. Okay, let's head over to those that are repositioning themselves in Tonga, just in case that system goes as berserk as it's looking on the models. Let's see if we can find Rubicon Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard. And what about Narida? Are you on frequency, Jan? No, nothing heard. So let's go straight to the weather. Those 2 boats are heading north on the western side of the Tongan chain to go up to Vavau. Here's David. Oh, hello. We've got a couple there. We'll just take those before David goes on to the weather. Donella, Gulf Harbour.
Yeah, good evening. Position 2045 south, 17509 west, steering about 10 to 15 magnetic. Motor failing at around 5 knots, little bit up and down. We left Supernova at round about lunchtime. and we had no wind over 2 knots for the whole afternoon. But at round about 4 o'clock, it started picking up a little bit. And we now, there are 5, 6 knots. Let me just look at the barometer. Derek is just having a look at the barometer. I'll give you the barometer. I was hoping we'll have a little bit more wind by now. At this time. 1.017 on the bar, and the direction of the wind is, you could call it east with a touch north in it. Back to you, Patricia.
I'll give him some weather.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Good to hear you on the radio again. I hope things have settled down for you. 2045 south, 17509 west. On a course north about 010 to 015 magnetic. And your motor sailing, you left Tongatapu at about noon with not much wind, about 2 knots. It's picking up a little bit, 5 to 6, not much is it, from the east with a touch of north. 1017 on the bar. Stand by, Jan, and everybody else going north. David's going to give some weather for you guys.
Yep, good evening. And tonight, I'd say about midnight tonight, between the Hapais and the Efu, anywhere between there, you could look, I hope, to about 10 to 15 knots out of the southeast. So that should let you shut the motor down and do some sailing and get up to Niafu. That's midnight, and then by, we'll call it lunchtime tomorrow, I think you're going to see maybe 15 to 20 out of the, we'll call it east-southeast to southeast in there. So you'll be even happier. In fact, you'll probably be in Niafu at that point. So, okay, here's the chief.
Well, that sounds better for you, Christian. That will put a smile on your face, over.
I think I got about 90% of it. Dave mentioned something in terms of knots, what it might be like tonight. I missed out on that one. Over.
Yeah, by midnight it will be 10 to 15 knots from the southeast, and tomorrow it will pick up a bit in the morning, 15 to 20, maybe east-southeast to southeast. So you should not have to have the motor on for too long, over.
Sounds good, we'll take it. Go to fish. We never go to fish from Minerva to Luco Hannover, and I've been trolling a Christmas tree behind the boat since lunchtime. There's not a bird in sight, and no takers whatsoever. And I do know how to catch the buggers. There is absolutely nothing. But if you watch the local fishing boats, and there's lots of them, what comes out in the morning is the market. It makes your heart, your head stand upside down. I don't think they got any fish in the bag bigger than 6 inches. They are taking the lot. I'm not surprised we're not getting anything. This place is dead. Back to you.
That's not
Yeah,
good.
well, it's not surprising for us to hear that because, they have had a policy of giving all their fishing rights to, was it the Chinese or the Japanese?
Chinese.
And this has been going on for years and years now. And even when we were there, which is a long time ago, we would see people out there fishing all day and getting virtually nothing and less than a handspan if they did get something. And it's really sad to see because they have basically denuded the whole the whole range of fish from tiny to up because of what they have done. So yeah, that is not good to hear, Christian, particularly coming from you who could conjure up a fish where no one else could. So yeah, not too good. Alrighty, well, we'll hopefully you'll have a decent passage with the engine off later, and maybe we'll hear from you in the morning. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Roger, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's a big one. But not much you can do about it. You know, when I was last here 20 years ago, I've been 20 years, yeah, something like that. And on the way from the Muka group or up high towards Nukulova, we would pull out one or two mai and you know, with tuna for good measure. Yeah, gone are the days.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. I'm Sonella on the side.
Roger that. And Jan, just stand by because I think we'll get David to cover the weather, and that might answer a few questions.
All right, so we've been talking about the depression all week, it seems, and looking at it late this afternoon, from what I could see by late Thursday to Friday morning, late Thursday to Friday morning, or we'll call it the budding depression, may be centered near 22 and the date line, 22 south and the date line. Now by lunch, it's moving. A very broad isobar may be pretty much centered over Tongatapu. Very heavy rain and thunderstorms, I believe, over Niafu at that time. Converging winds over Tongatapu. In other words, northeast winds clashing with northwest winds. Expect gale force. Minerva can expect storm force, 43, 45 knots, south-southeast. That's Minerva, 43 to 45, south-southeast. By late Friday, winds look to be westerlies at Tongatapu, 30, 35 knots in there. The Hapais, also westerlies, 30 to 35. By lunch on Saturday, the Hapais are looking like southwest, 30 to 35. Tongatapu, southwest, 30 to 35. Seas, by the way, out in the open waters, look to be from the south, 4 to 5 meters, 4 to 5 meters. By lunchtime on Sunday, Tongatapu southerlies about 30 knots, 30 knots. Minerva, south-southeast, 30. Niafu, south-southwest, 25 plus, 25 knots plus. And by late Sunday into Monday, our depression leaves the area. It's off. It's off to the southeast. Goodbye to the depression, that's for sure. So that's what it looks like at this point. So the models are starting to come together, and that's a good sign. Took them long enough to do this. So we'll know a little bit more tomorrow, and we'll see if what I just said changes. So I will be back again to give an update and see if things are the same or they have changed. So with that, I'll give it back to the chief, and probably Narita is in there someplace.
Yeah, and Christian will be interested to hear Narita's position and conditions because she is north of them, in fact north of the Hapais really. Narita, go ahead, Jan.
Yes, on Harbour Radio. On Harbour Radio, this is Narita. Yes, sorry, I had the wrong plug in my radio, so I tried once and then I couldn't hear me. Anyway, yeah, I've been looking at the weather and debating what to do, and of course I've had this hot start, recent, regular recent water, and of course the temperature gasping into the 2 leaks that I had in Minerva. So what was one thing and the other, I had a look at the weather and looked for an anchorage in in the Happai, and I got the message that really the Happai wasn't a good place to be with the wind spinning around and so on. And then I heard that a friend in Canada is going to be coming into Barbados to Minneapolis next week. And so I thought, oh well, he could bring another stop shot keel. So what was one thing and another, I took off at about 11 o'clock this morning to head north. My present position, I've just come north onto Happai in fact, and I've got quite a full swell as a result. My position now is 19 degrees, 25 minutes south, 174 degrees, 19 minutes west. I'm making up and down around 6 knots actually. I had a lovely sail since I started. I put the engine on once or twice when the wind dropped, but not for long, and I've had a really good sail all late afternoon. The spot is 0332. Speed is up down road knots actually. Cloud cover now is about 50%, 50%. I did have a bit of a shower earlier, but not now. And the barometer is steady at 1016. As I say, I'm having a lovely sail. The swell northeast at 1.5 to 2 meters, very noticeable inside just the detection at the Happai. Over.
Yeah, and the all-important wind speed where you are, Jan.
Anyway,
Sorry, I thought I heard something else. The wind has been coming up very nicely, and is now, it was about 7 or 8 knots for quite a time, and now it's come up to 10, which is why we're making 6 knots, rather full canvas. In fact, when I finish talking, I'll go and put a reef in the mainsail, I think. But we've got 10 knots from the southeast at the moment. Over.
Oh, well, that will be cheering for Christian. He just needs to get a bit further north, and it sounds like it's a nice sail. 1925 south, 17419 west, and you're doing about 6 knots on a course of 033 true to Vivau. Good decision, actually. Northeast, 1.5 meters, 50% cloud cover, earlier shower, but quite nice now, 1016, and the wind is 10 knots from the southeast, and you heard David say tomorrow morning it should go up a little bit, so that would be good if you get 10 to 15 by midnight tonight. So you are going to reef a bit, make it peaceful, because you've got plenty of time to get there to overnight. All right, sounds good, Jan, and you'll be in Vivau to greet your friends, so all is good. Over.
Yeah, roger that. My course is 023, not 033, and the friend has already in British Columbia that's coming in next week. He has already found a prop staff seal that I can put in place in the boatyard in Minneapolis. That's on its way from Toronto to him now, and he's trying to get my the gasket, the top housing for the fuel filter, so I can have that sorted out. So all in all, in a week or so's time, Narida should be in good nick. Over.
Well, she was meant to be in good nick when she left. Hi. Yeah, there's always something, isn't there? But that has worked out extremely well, so that's really, really good. Okay, well, you have a nice, peaceful night. Sounds pretty good there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, maybe in the morning. Okay, we'll clear with Narida, and is not sure. Rubicon is not too far from Donella, so maybe they've got each other in sight. Is there anybody else for Gulf Harbour?
Rubicon.
Well, there's Rubicon, and I take it you've left at about the same time. Everybody's heading north. Over.
Yeah, roger that. We actually left about 600 this morning. We're motor sailing at about 6 knots. And we're at 1956 south, 174, 52 west. We're steering a course about 15 magnetic, and we've got pretty much, I'd say 80% overcast, but it's been a lovely day. Maybe 6 to maybe 8 knots east southeast, okay?
Okay, and you'll be looking forward to that wind picking up a little bit for sailing later. You are motor sailing at the moment on a course of 015 magnetic and currently at position 1956 south and 17452 west, just a little bit north of Christian, with about 8 knots of east-southeast and a lovely day. Oh, I'm envious. 80% cloud cover. So have a good peaceful night. I hope it picks up. Doesn't sound as if it will be too far away. And you'll have just a nice tranquil trip up. Over.
Yeah, roger that. It's been stunning today. We have seen more whales than we've ever seen in our lives. Fly hopping, spinning, fluking, everything. And also hooked up, Christian, we hooked up a monster swordfish that after a few exciting minutes took our lure and our line. Then we lost the lure and caught a tuna, and so there's still fish out there, okay?
I wonder what, I wish I could see Christian's face at the moment. Well, oh goodness, yeah, the whales seem to be fantastic this year. That's really cool to be able to see them heading north, same direction as you. Well, you should put a line out, they could tow you up. But, well, a swordfish and then a bahima. Well, that is fantastic. Well, you'll just have to tell Christian how to go about it. Over.
Yeah, roger that. It was just a small tuna. We're still looking for mahi-mahi.
Yeah, I bet you are. But anyway, beggars can't be choosers, and that's at least a fish. So, and with a swordfish there must be something around. So hopefully you'll look for that mahi-mahi. That would be fun. All right, have a good night, you two, and just let us know all is well tomorrow. It looks like the Tongan. Oh no, you don't have to check in. You've already checked in. So yeah, you'll just be able to sort out where you go for the next few days. All right, we'll clear with Rubicon, Matt and Elizabeth. And is there anybody else?
Is there anybody left in time to tap?
No, David wants to know, is there anybody left? Actually, there is. I think Pajian is there and a couple of other boats. So, all right, well, unless there's anybody with any questions or wanting to do a radio check, we will call it quits. Final call. I knew you couldn't resist picking the microphone up. Well, you know, you can always chat to Elizabeth and Matt as to how they do it tomorrow. You might be losing your touch, Christian. Over.
Take it any day. Listening to Jay's weather forecast, I feel sorry for the boats standing behind there in Nuku'alofa. There's a couple of them in there. One Kiwi boat, I forget the name of it. They got a broken gearbox, so they can't move. And well, they get their own Pangai Moku in about 20 meters and put out all the chains they've got. They got to ride it out. And there was a German guy with a old best catch. He wants to take a chance. And there was one or two others, more modern boats. And the old people want to hang around there, listening to that forecast from days. Those winds which are coming there will blow straight into the harbor. They will blow straight in. Those poor guys in there will be standing on their heads. I hope all goes well for them. Back to you.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, we've been there in conditions when we had to be there to check in, and yeah, it's a sort of a to and fro. I wouldn't be wanting to be there with a gearbox out of action, because we went to and fro about 3 positions over about 3 days, toing and froing. In fact, the New Zealand boat, what was it? The race boat was in there too, doing the same thing as we were.
Blake's boat.
Yeah, Blake's boat. But we would have been doing just what you and Rubicon and Narada have done, and to head north. It's so much easier to be in Vava'u, where everything is close if you want to change an anchorage. So, yep, you're right. Hopefully they've got plenty of swing room and can stay safe. All right, Christian. We'll leave you guys to it, and we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, and we are clear. Have a good night, all.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, both of you.
Good night. Yeah.